Why should we do that first time round?
Yes.
That's what are we talking about? Let's do
You right, guys? Welcome to the Trial and Error podcast. It's the third episode. You'll notice this lovely gent sitting to the left here. So he's our first guest, one that Reese was really excited for, mostly because they're both bald. But so yeah, this is very much like a Reese-centered one. I know they all seem to be Reese-centered. Funny that. This is like your life, isn't it? Reese-centered. But yeah, so it's very much me asking kind of questions and these two guys talking about kind of going bald at a young age and the effects it can have on you, like mentally, and how it affects like other areas of your life, and just really coming to terms with it and that whole process and their experiences with it, because obviously I've not had those experiences, have I? But
not yet.
No, man's rocking that fresh.
yeah,
fade.
so it was funny. So, but I thought I'd get a fresh haircut
Just to take the
before we
piss.
did this. Yeah, just to take the piss in it. I was like, yeah, just give me a taper, mate, and thin out the top, will you? Thin out the top, boss man. But yeah,
I've been mine out about 5 years.
yeah, but that's the last thing you want. Don't thin out the top anymore, will you? But you'll get into that anyway, won't you? A bit later. But so I'll let this guy introduce himself, tell you a bit about him and what he does and why we've got him here.
Okay, well, thanks for having me.
That's all right.
Pleasure to be your first
Pleasure.
guest. I suppose in a nutshell, I'm Harry, and I run like an online community, maybe mostly on the YouTube, but also Instagram. It's pretty much dedicated to helping guys like move past the roadblock that can be struggling to deal with losing your hair or going bald, right? In a word, I guess I help guys accept it, move on with their lives, and put all the like nonsense that comes with it behind them. And I do it because when I was 25, my hair started falling out, and it like hit me like a bit of a train, and it derailed me for a good best part of a year. Like it was pretty bad, and I was able to move past that, and I was like, okay, I've got to help other guys do this, because once you're on the other side looking back, you're like, wow, that really did.
You kind of want to reach out your hand and pull everyone with you, sort of thing. Like,
in a way, because when you I don't want to deep it too hard, but when you look back on the struggle, like the struggle's real.
It's so strange to say that, because I remember I found you in 2020. Not like that, it's a bit weird. But I found you in 2020 online.
Okay, yeah.
So
that's like 2 years in.
So it was COVID, and I want to ask you, like, with your hair, did you notice it first, or did someone else notice it and point it out?
I noticed it.
See, it's so weird for me, because it's like we kind of a bit different there, because I used to in work, there used to be a group of us, and we used to always hit the piss, being like, oh, Reese losing it, and I'm like, am I? And like, I remember going to the bathroom, and my mum was bathing one of my brothers, and I'm pushing like the corners back of my head, and I'm like, Mum, am I losing my hair? She's like, nah, you're fine. But like, it's such a different experience, I think, having somebody point out to you. But yeah, anyway, so I saw it in 2020 because it was COVID lockdown, and I'm kind of aware of what's going on, and the people are rocking like just shaving their own hair.
It was a bit of a trend, wasn't it?
I'm looking at that thinking, I cannot do that. There's no chance I am doing that. I will look like a knob. So I grew it out, and it looked disgusting, because I've got the old granddad look where it's like proper thick round here, and on top it's just long and thin. And then like, I spent I spent 3 years of my life like just I'd go to the barbers every like 2 or 3 weeks, and they would literally just brush it all forward and just cut off a little I always got called the Bobby Charlton.
Oh, really?
That's what I was rocking.
Was that the extent you were at? You should put some pictures in over.
Yeah, I'll get some pictures.
Yeah, maybe we'll put some on at the end.
I saw your Instagram, and we'll tag your Instagram in that later, where your most recent one, where the guy brushed it back.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what my hair looked like.
Really? Was that gone?
Well, it's so weird, because I remember when me and you went out, and you were like, "Oh mate, you're having a good hair day today," because I've just gone and got a haircut.
I was that one at work, calling it a night.
So like, for me, like, I knew if I had a haircut, I had about 3 days, and then it's
3 days grace.
Yeah,
Well, it's looking alright.
But like, have you got like certain memories of your hair where like that's what made you like get rid of it?
Now you see, my kind of journey with it, if you like, is different in the sense that I noticed it first. Like I noticed it on a video from like the back of my head was like drastically. Well, I say drastically. At the time, it wasn't that drastic, but I could tell instantly like I'm going
It's
bald.
thinner, like.
It was my hairline was solid, but it was at the back that got me. And then, but just the mere fact that I knew I was going to go bald was enough to like make me freak out even in that moment. And then I ended up shaving my head like quite early because I was so in my head about it, always worrying about what happened to you, which was I was so terrified someone was going to say to me like, "Are you going bald?" That was my fear. So it's weird. It's like because you already dealt with that. Does that make it easier? Like having it's already happened, so you've kind of crossed that boundary. Whereas me, no one had pointed it out, and I was desperate to keep it that way.
Yeah.
So I was so hell
Still
bent.
hidden for now.
Yeah, because I just didn't know what I'd do. I just felt like I'd be so embarrassed. Like this was when I was overseas and I was back at university, and like the people in my class ranged from like I don't know, like 19 up to like 30s and 40s, and I was like middle of the pack sort of. Well, no, I was towards the young end. And I just like, they're all good friends of mine and stuff, like maybe 20, 30 people in this class. And I was just so, I developed a bit of I think one thing that didn't help me is I was quite a cocky lad, if you like, in the class. Like I was very like outgoing, very like talkative, very
You had eyes on you, so it's easy.
Yeah, and I liked that. Like I had a massive ego about me. I'm not ashamed, I did, and then but I had this big secret that would have crushed that ego.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone, it's like, oh, you can be as cocky as you like, mate, but you're still going bald.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
as soon as they get that, they've got forever.
I was like, I can't have anyone notice this. So my whole life was then, right, what can I do to make sure nobody sees this? And I ended up, doing things like I would sit right at the back and just like not interact with anyone, and that's when it really starts to impact you. But
did you experiment with like the shampoos and stuff, or
no?
Or did you?
No,
see,
I didn't. No.
See, I was 18 at the time, and so obviously we worked at Tesco at the time, and we used to start like 5:30, 6. So I went for a stage at 18, getting like the caffeine shampoo, but I didn't realise you got to sit there for 5 minutes.
Oh,
so the whole house has got the shower running for 5 minutes. I'm sat there like this, and like. All it does, it makes you feel thicker, doesn't it? But it doesn't actually really do a lot. Like, have you ever thought about hair transplant? No.
That was never a thing for me because, again, I was so in my head worrying, like, all right, what am I going to look like if I actually go bald then? Like, I had a missus at the time, and I was like, I was adamant, like, she'll bin me off if I go bald.
Yeah. No,
I was a teacher at the time as well, and I was like, all my students, the little kids, they're going to be like, who's this guy? Like all their parents are going to be like, oh, we don't want this old freak teaching our kids. Like that's the extent I was in my head, like say the things I was saying, and I knew that everything that's out there was the way I saw it anyway. Was like none of it is an outright cure. Okay, you can like take the medication to at best like freeze where things are.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
you can have a hair.
Eventually.
Well, it's still there because obviously when you stop.
Yeah.
You would revert back to where you would be normally. So at best you can hope you can do a transplant, you can take all the medications, dermarolin, stack all that together and sort of have it fixed in time, so to speak. But I didn't want that hanging over me because the balding was already hanging over me.
Then you're living with it all the time. It's like a lifestyle.
Essentially, it's like a lifestyle, exactly like that. And you've got to keep up with it. And guys who are doing that, fair play. A lot of them will argue like. It's just like brushing your teeth, or it's just like, but it's the psychological, losing your hair is a psychological battle. It doesn't hurt physically. It's not like, ow, my hair's falling out. It's all like mental. Yeah. And so I needed relief from that. And the way I saw it was, right, I'm gonna have to face it. I'm gonna have to, face facts. I'm gonna have to, what's the phrase? Like face the music or whatever. Yeah. And go bald and see if I can handle it, sort of thing. And that's what prompted me.
Like. How was that first few days?
So what I did first was I got like a really, really, really short haircut, like skin fade.
Like that.
Yeah, but like faded a bit tighter.
Hey,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
haircut was about a week ago, alright?
We'll get into the hat game because I feel like
Yeah,
that's maybe a thing, but the skin fade, but yeah, maybe a bit shorter than that even. Like I don't know what that was on top. Like maybe you're talking like a 5 there.
So I'll go to my lovely barber Cat. She chucked a 4 on 0.5 on the
Okay,
side.
yeah.
See, because
4 on top.
she.
So how old is that?
How
many days are we talking now?
Last week.
Okay, so yeah, a bit shorter.
See,
Like 3 on top.
what's really annoying is when I get a haircut, it just looks like I've got an awful hairline. Like it looks all kind of filled in. And once it
Did
starts
she do
growing
the
out-
fibres and that for you? Or
No,
you don't do that.
No. I pay 15 quid for a beard. And I used to generally pay 15 quid, and I used to call it a side cut because all I would generally do is I would get a 0.5 on the
fade on the
side,
side.
and because most of my hair came from the back, like that's how bad we're talking. So a lot of my hair came from the back, so she would literally brush it all for. I'd never like the embarrassment now thinking about it. Like I
She
used
just
to go,
give you a disguise job.
I used to go so red because I knew it was coming. So she'd brush the hair back, and she'd go like this to like. So she could do the ends, and I'd sit in there and I could see the mirror. And there's everyone around me. There's old men getting their haircut. They got lovely full thick hair, and there's me at 21 or whatever I was doing. And yeah, she's cutting it, and I wish none of you and just braids it because I lived with it for like I said 3 years, and there's 2 stories that made me do it. So the first one for me was as a football at goals, and for me like if I saw it was windy or rainy outside. Like now I look at it and go, oh, I'm gonna get wet or it's cold. Whereas I'd look at the rain and think, oh, my hair, what am I gonna look like after this?
Well, you joke to me all the time about it. Like, it's weird because obviously I thought that even though we joke about it, it'd be Reese that joked first.
Yeah,
Almost to be
to own it.
to get it, own it and get it out the way. And like,
that's the thing. Like, everyone knew I was going bald, and it was a kind of a joke. But like, for me personally, I made it a joke. So because I'm kind of one of those kind of people that if I've got something wrong, I'll just make it a joke because I don't want to. If I can laugh at it, I can kind of.
you can accept
I can
it,
kind of
like,
live with that. But no, so I remember being at goals, and the ball got. I was one of those hairspray, like a can of hairspray, and I would try and hold that there. And the ball gets played over, it's windy, and I've ran for it, and the wind's just completely taken my hair all the way back, and there's people around, and they've gone, oh my god, what's that? And like the embarrassment, and that was me. I didn't play it like I kind of just like this, and.
Well, that's what it is, the embarrassment.
Yeah.
That's the sole reason why you're trying to do that cover up job.
Yeah, and then the second story, so because I'd done it on the Thursday, so I played football on a Wednesday, and it was pissing out of rain. And we just moved into our new place at the time, and there's boxes everywhere, and I'm having a breakdown because I cannot find a bottle of hairspray, and I'm there like I'm not going to play. I physically was like, if I can't find this hairspray, I'm not playing football. And I'm sat in the middle of this bedroom, boxes around me, crying my eyes out. So I can't find just a can of hairspray, and then I put the can of hairspray on, absolutely hammered down. I went to football with a beanie on, and I'm playing foot, and then I literally went to the barber the next day and was like, look, just get rid of it. And she tried to do the classic, no. I think so. I've never told anyone this story. So she's brushed my hair and she's done the whole like got the scissors and she's cut it, and as it falls back, I'm like, there is no chance I am going because what she cut off meant I was.
you can't go back now.
Yeah, so I was like, just do it.
You're exposed.
So, and then honestly, like it's weird because, like we're talking about the hat game. Like if I see people that I know, I don't take my hat off. But if I meet people that I don't know, I'm okay with them seeing my hat. It's a weird thing. Like
it's because you had that like embarrassment and you've gone through all of that circle with these people. It's like we know you and all of your secrets, if that makes sense. So it's like it's a habit to hide it for so long that like.
Yeah, that is a good point because it is. That is what you have to get out of the undoing, the shaving the hair that you have off. You know, I had way more hair than I do now when I first shaved it off. You know, like nobody called me out. The only person that mentioned it was my nan, like, and she because all her sons went bald, so she kind of knew like what to look out for, or whatever. Other than that, no one ever mentioned it to me, and the why it works is because you get rid of that hiding, like you said, like that's the thing. And whether it's like hats, the sprays, the whatever, you're all, you know, me hiding at the back of the the lecture hall, whatever, it's all to hide it. And the only way past that, they're called safety behaviours. The hat, in any anxiety, they're called safety behaviours. And you have to get rid of it and be exposed, which is that feeling that you get when when you're so used to hiding away, like you said. And you've got to push past that, like, discomfort. You've got to sit in that discomfort long enough to realise, like, oh, actually, I can handle this. Like, this is okay.
I'm alright. Like, nothing.
That's like the real, like, that's real. Like, that's actually what it is about. It's not about, like, how much hair you have, like, how's it really looking. Like, of course, you want to look good.
Yeah.
Like, you want to see something
That's it.
and be
You
like, yeah, I
think,
look good.
I'm not going to look good bald either, but you need to.
But you've got to see it to believe it.
What annoyed me most about, like, actually shaving it off is I used to get, like, we used to joke about me losing my hair. Or
We say shaving it off, but you are still rocking hair and a haircut.
Yeah, I know.
So where are we at with that? Talk to me.
I'm like, it's like a 75%
Be real.
job, isn't it? It's a 70. And then the minute I buzzed it off, the amount of people going, mate, you suit that so well. Like, and my girlfriend now, my girlfriend now, like, the first time she saw me was at football, and she was like, wow, you actually suit that hairstyle. But like, what I struggle with now is when I first got it done, I kept my hat on, like, in front of my mum and stuff. But now I rock around with it. When I go to, like, my girlfriend's house, like, with my mum and that, I don't really. They could probably count on one hand how many times they haven't seen me with a hat on. And I do try and get away from, because if you see me 9 times out of 10, I'm wearing a hat.
Well, yeah, I noticed that your little picture for your podcast is you in a hat as well.
Yeah, we thought that'd be funny, didn't we? Because I'm always wearing a hat.
It's weird because you always wore a hat anyway.
Yeah.
But
was that to hide the hair?
weird.
Speaking real, like, being honest.
No, so from about the age of
Plenty of guys do it.
Like, he also didn't wear a hat because then he'd have to do his hair.
Yeah.
It was really weird. It was like,
He needs to take it off.
he would want to wear a hat,
Mate, I'll have to take it off for the pod. No
but
problem.
he wouldn't like
But no,
put it on just to mess up his hair, or he'd feel like he was having a bad hair day and have his hat on. It was weird. It was like it's a comfort to have the ability to just put it on if you want it,
No,
or
see,
something like
for
that.
me, like,
maybe.
from about the age of about 13, 16, 17, whatever, like, from the age, I always wore, like, a little snapback, like we were talking earlier.
Okay, so it was pre-hair loss.
Yeah,
It was
so I
already a
used
thing
to
for you
rock
then,
the style where, like, because back then that's when we all thought it was cool to, like, do your hair upwards, and you put your snapback on
Just
backwards.
like resting on.
And and that was the style I had for ages. And then it's a weird one because I remember in work, I started like driving vans about, so I was always out in the weather, and I remember just putting a hat on, and I was like, because I remember picking up shopping and trays in my hand, and I've walked to the front door, and the wind's taken my hair completely. I don't know what the customer saw. They probably didn't see a great view, but I'm there and I'm completely helpless. And I thought, right, I need to stop. So I wore a hat, and nobody ever commented on it.
It did kind of start when you started driving, actually.
Yeah,
now you say that.
And now, but I do try and get away from wearing a hat. My girlfriend always says, you don't have to wear a hat, but like, it's just kind of part of my outfit now. Where like, it's just as sad as it is now. Like, so I'll plan my outfits now. So like, I've got a black and blue hat, I've got a black and red hat, I've got a black and white hat. I've got like different colours to match my outfits because that's kind of how I've got it. So a while ago, I bought like a nice little outfit like when we went out, and I got like a red North Face,
the red.
and I've got a black, and I thought, oh, I'll get a black and red hat now. So like, I wear a hat now as part of my outfit, but I do want to get away from that.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, listen, it's a trap that I call it the hat trap. It's the hat slave. Like, it's the easiest one to get stuck in necessarily, and I'm not saying there's anything like wrong with it. Well, there is if you want to not be. It's not good if you're in a certain situation and you're wearing a hat and you think, right, I really hope I don't have to take this hat off, or know you're going to feel uncomfortable if you have to take it off, because then it's got a hold on you, and that's the whole thing. That's what creates anxiety. That's what makes you feel uncomfortable.
See, I wear a hat that much. Sometimes I forget I have a hat on. Like, I'll go, where's my hat? And
what's part of you now?
It's on my head. And like,
when you get up in the morning, is it straight on, or is it just going out of the house?
9 times out of 10, I'll have a hat on.
Just in the house as well, and that. When you say 9 times out of 10, you mean like 90% of the day?
I wear a hat for work.
Right. What, like a uniform hat or like a casual?
No, I wear my own. Which they're fine with. But yeah, no, I'll come over. Like, so I won't wear a hat from like if I'm at home.
Right. Yeah.
But like if I go out and about,
Yeah.
I chuck it out.
But it's so easy because if you were to go into a place, like you say we went down the coffee shop or whatever, and you didn't have a hat on, and you go in, no hat, you can't even put the hat on, right? You've already crossed that like mental thing of like, okay, everyone's seen this, like whatever, it's a secret that I've got, so it's fine. So you don't need to reach for it. But you know, if you were to, so when when I grew my hair out, right, long, and so I was like, way after I shaved it off, I grew it super long, and I started wearing a hat because it was cold when I was living in China again at this time, and I went to the gym, started this new gym. This is how I fell into this trap as well. I started this new gym, and I was like, you know, walking around town with this hat on, and I just went in there, and they were like, "Oh, well, you can try it out if you want. Like, try out the gym, see if you like it." So I already had the hat on, and I was rocking that like insane, like long hair. But like, dude, this was like full on Bobo the Clown job, right? And so I didn't, you know, even me, I was like, look, I don't want to have to deal with that. Like, what is that style? Like, what is that? So I just left the hat on. But then I'd already met like, I don't know, 5-6 people that day. You know, I had the hat on, went back the next day, you know, signed up. Okay, still had the hat on because I would just be about town. And the next thing I knew, it was like 2 months in, and I'm still wearing this hat, like to the gym.
That's how they've seen
because
it first.
because I made it a thing. Yeah, I made it a thing in my head of like, oh, now I'm gonna have to take this hat off, and it's gonna be a big deal because everyone's gonna see. Because everyone thinks I have legit hair because it was like flowing out the back,
Like
like
fake
style.
hats with a fake
Kind of,
hat.
yeah. You know, everyone in their mind's got a picture of how I look, or at least, you know, this is how I was thinking about it. And now I've got to like impact or affect that vision, you know, this illusion, and that makes you anxious. And I just didn't want to deal with it. So it was easier to just keep wearing the hat until it was weird because it was like getting hot, like it wasn't beanie weather
wouldn't
anymore.
normally wear a hat.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, you know, we're talking 5-6 years into doing what I do, and I fell into that trap, you know, and I was like, this is ridiculous. And the only way past it was literally, then I started rocking this like obscene Steven Seagal like ponytail, and like slicking it back,
Like Paul Heyman.
and and I just walked in there, and the woman on the front there, she was like, whoa. But then after that, it was like, whatever, you know. She was like, oh, and I was like, yeah, this is what I actually look like.
Why did you have?
Yeah,
that's why you had the hat on so much.
Yeah.
Why?
And
like,
then
it's not that.
and
it's
then
not
after
as
that,
big a
nobody
deal to the
mentioned it
people
to
around
me.
you.
Yeah, no one said
Like-
anything, and it was not of an
Do
issue.
you find, like, you look at people now and go, oh, he's losing his hair. Oh, he's trying to cover up.
Yeah, but just because of the world I'm in, I think.
Yeah.
It's like,
Because, like,
it's my like, sounds weird, but it's like it's my job, it's my life. So
Well,
yeah.
You can tell if somebody's doing something you do in
like,
your life.
whether
kind of
it's
thing.
hair tattoos, like transplants, like hair systems,
it's so
everything.
funny.
I
Like,
can spot it all.
I remember being 18, emailing like hair transplant companies, being like, what age can I be? And they're like, always sort of said 23, and I'm thinking, oh, I can't wait to be. I'm 24 now. I think, can I really be asked to spend 3, 4, 5 grand on a hair transplant?
Well, you'd have to do it all. Don't forget, like, you know, you could go to Turkey, drop 3-4 grand. You're gonna have to start taking the meds daily for the rest, for as long as you want to keep hold of it. So for as long as you want it to be a worthwhile investment, you know, how long's that? If you think you want to do that for the rest of your life, then fine. But for the sake of like what, 5 years with like a fuller looking head of hair, is it worth it? You know, it does take consideration.
Yeah, see, to me it's strange because my uncle's bald, my granddad's bald, like my nan's side of the family all bald, like everyone's bald, like, and I don't know why I had like, because I think the misconception is like when you go bald, you go like you're old, isn't you? Like that's
Well,
like
you feel old.
Yeah.
Because I will admit, if like, because I used to do table tennis with another guy who was noticeably going bald. His name's Dom Sussex. Brilliant,
Shout out, Dom.
brilliant
Shout
player.
out,
Yeah,
Dom,
shout out Dom. But he's a brilliant player. But he was always playing and flicking his hair like he would do. So he's got the same kind of balding, but he's just shaved it off. And
Shout out, Dom.
it's weird for me to see him like that for the first time, because I remember seeing Reese and him like that for the first time, because you're so used to seeing him with a certain hairstyle. But I was saying to Reese about it, and it's like, if I were to get long hair, or because I was one of the people that buzzed my head during COVID, just to see what it was like, because everyone was doing it, and
Yeah, but you
it
actually
was,
rocked it there. That's
but
what
it
annoyed
was-
me.
but it was weird for everybody else, just as weird as it would be you doing it or Reese doing it. I feel like it's
What do you mean? Weird
it's a shock
shaving
to
your
the
head for the
system,
first time?
no matter what. Like any change in somebody that you see enough is a shock, no matter what it is.
Well, yeah, we're hardwired, aren't we, to sort of like resist change.
Yeah, because you're so used to seeing someone a certain way, but then like you get a week in and it doesn't even look.
No, it's the
That's
new
what they
normal,
are
man.
now. Like that's what they look like.
Yeah.
Like because Reese come into the gym first, wasn't it? We were going gym, and he showed me, took his hat off, and showed me what he got, and I said, mate, that actually looks really good.
It looks
Because
better.
I was telling him for ages, you'll actually suit it. It'll look good.
Yeah, no, it's annoying because I do look back and I think it's like I can't look at pictures of myself anymore. I don't know about you, but I can't look at pictures of myself anymore because it's like there's a really nice picture Mum's got up on the wall, and it's like all of me and little brother and sisters, and like I'm looking at it, and I just look awful because I've like just tried to keep my hair.
Right, clinging on, yeah.
And like I went through like I'm just going through my phone the other day.
Mm.
I was gonna show you some pictures, but I thought. But anyway, I went through and there's pictures. I thought, why have I gone out like that? There's a picture of me and you on my Instagram, and it's an awful. My hair looks like awful.
But it didn't seem weird at the time.
Yeah,
if
it
that
definitely
makes
did.
sense.
It definitely did.
You look back, it's like I have loads of like photos and stuff where I don't like the hairstyles I had.
Yeah, but
before.
that's because you had nice hair.
But no, I had some like really bad haircuts but it's like I think everyone does that, but obviously you more so because it brings back all of that like struggle of going through it, and
See,
you just kind of like you look at yourself now in those photos and think, why were you doing that? Like why didn't you just accept it a bit further back along the line?
Yeah, see, because like I've watched a lot of your podcasts, a lot of your videos, and like a lot of people say, you know, they found it on the pillow, and I never really had that.
No.
The only thing I really had is if I put hairspray in my hair, and then was to brush my hair or to style it, then I'd go that and I'd find it. But I never had like hair on the pillow.
Just the hairline like going back, like.
But like, I don't really remember it until like people used to point it out, and then that's when I saw it like the most. Because like, there's pictures of me like 17, 18, and I think Jesus, like look at my like the hairline's gone already at 17, 18. But like, no, I never had like hair on the pillow, or never had like just hair falling out. I just literally, if I was to do that, that's all I ever really had. To be fair. So like, I remember, like another story I remember is it was just before. I think it was just after that Kobe Bryant like helicopter crash. And I was getting my haircut from this bloke, and he was like, "Yeah, I reckon you've got like 2 more haircuts," and that was in what 2020. So I carried on.
2 more haircuts. That's
2
mad.
more left.
Yeah,
He's
no,
counting down.
he was doing it going. I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Because like I then went to camp. He's like, I'm like maybe we perm it, and I was like, yeah, good, because that's what people do. They perm their hair to like go and hide it. I went into Mum. I was like, Mum, if I want to perm my hair, she was like, no, you're not.
No.
I was like, no, perm it's really good for hiding it, and she was like, really, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
But then,
But the hiding thing, I mean, that's like one of the main things about it all. Is like, you know, all jokes aside and that, with you and your mates and stuff, like, you want to see your friends like feel good about themselves, have a healthy sense of body image, healthy sense of self-esteem, and like clinging on like the phrase, but it's more, you know, to like so that it looks like you've got a full head of hair, but it's more like recognizing what that person is feeling like underneath all of that.
It's
clinging
very
on.
obvious if somebody like is hiding something.
Yeah, and that just feels a bit sad, not as in like, oh, you're sad.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know what
dickhead
you
for
mean.
You
that.
feel like
But
saying,
you're like
"I wouldn't
genuinely
care."
like sad,
Like,
mate.
yeah.
Like, that's like as in like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah, like,
You know, but I feel for that.
For a while, like I was telling you to shave it, wasn't I? I was like, mate, nobody will care. Like, honestly,
yeah,
nobody will. You're still gonna be Reese at the end of the day. It's not like it doesn't change you who you are. It actually just becomes a bit of who you
yeah,
are.
I know, but what was I? I was 22, 23 at the time, and like you're looking around, all your mates are like, everyone's got a nice hair. But it's
Yeah.
weird now, right? Because I've done it, and like I look around my mates, and I think, oh, you're going, like, and it doesn't feel so weird. And like, there was a lad in my group of mates who was going through like year 13, and he buzzed off, and I remember looking at it thinking, no chance I could do that.
Well, yeah, same. At the start, I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm actually gonna go bald. Like, have a day off. I never thought I actually would until I was like, nah, this is ridiculous.
It's such a strange thing to explain, balding, like how you feel about it, because like you're sat here now, and you probably can't really even think about it.
It's just the controlling aspect.
It's
the
every,
thing
like
you
it's,
want
every,
to
it's
free
everything.
from.
Like you walk outside now and you think, have I got my keep? Whereas I used to walk out and go,
I was checking the mirror.
I'm
fucking checking the back
I'm
and
walking out
everything.
thinking, right, it's a bit windy.
Nah, you're pretty solid, dude. I think
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Well,
but is there anything
it's
you
like-
feel insecure about?
Well, that's what I was about to say. Is I would relate it to like the one I get is if I have a spot
Right.
on my face. That's one that I hate.
Mm.
And
I think it's in the gym or something, but okay.
no, it's like spots on my face or something. That's what I would relate it to because that's one that really gets to me.
Mm.
In that, if I have one, I will genuinely debate going out
Mm.
as to be like, and it's exactly like
I
you
see my
had
mum's little
in that
makeup and-
in one of the podcasts when we were filming one of the trial ones. I actively was like, right now I want to be sat this side.
Mhm.
I think it was for the first one.
Oh, is that why? Is
Because
it?
I was like, I want to sit
makes
that
sense.
side
Okay.
because then it's not there. Like, even though nobody would know, and like if somebody, I tell myself like when somebody else has got a spot, it's like you see it for like half a second and it's just normal. It's like a normal
Well,
thing.
you
It's
don't.
not.
Yeah, you don't. You don't. it
I'm
doesn't
not
impact-
judging anybody
No.
for it. So
But you're
then
in
I'm
your
like-
head about that.
yeah, it very
Yeah,
much
that's
gets
a
you in
good-
your head.
That's a
It
good
like
comparison.
because that's another one people struggle with, isn't it? Spots and like
Yeah.
acne and stuff.
And it's
But-
funny because I would sit here and be like, well, that's a bit silly, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
only a spot. And you probably think the same thing if someone's like, oh, I don't want to show my receding hairline, like, can
Yeah.
I sit there? Or I don't want to be under that light, like, because it kind of makes it look thinner, like, so
Yeah.
can I sit in that seat? And, like, you think, alright, but that's a bit weird.
I feel like-
why are you so bothered
yeah,
like that?
if it's not
That's a good,
balding
that's
or
a
your
good
hair
example.
or your like your body or like spots for me is one. It's like I feel like if it's not one, it's very much another thing that
I
somebody
think
will get
everyone
in
has
their
something.
head about.
Oh, yeah, everyone's got something.
I think it's a natural thing, but being able to like the biggest thing for me, and I feel like for anything that way related is just kind of think if it was somebody else, would you actually care? And it's like you wouldn't really, because like I said, Reese is still Reese. It doesn't change what he is.
It's
like,
so funny when you say it like that.
it is, isn't it?
We
It's
still
like
love you,
Reese.
Reese.
It's
So
we love you.
we know
Reese.
you're
So
bald,
more.
but
It's like
don't worry,
mourning a
dude.
funeral.
Yeah. It's like
But
that.
it's like
You're still the same
it
you.
is. It's like you are. It's like putting a Snapchat filter on for the
Yeah.
first 5 minutes, and then it's like, all right, it's
Nah,
nothing.
I do look back with a lot of regret, and I do wish if I could speak to myself, my like younger self, I would have said, just crack on, just do it. Like no one's asked.
Yeah.
'Cause-
It's part of the journey. I use the word journey all the time when I speak to
Of course.
guys or in the, because that's what it is. Like, there's some guys, I've got stories galore. Guys that have even gone to Turkey and they're in the hotel room and they're ready to bloody go the next morning, and that's the point they get to when they're like, wait, do I need to be doing this stuff?
Am I really
Yeah.
going this
Yeah.
far?
So what made you do like the whole bold cafe thing? Was like your experience, and you thought I don't want people to feel like me? Because if I'm honest with you, like completely honest, the whole reason of this podcast is I kind of watched your stuff. Like I said, I followed you since 2020. Because it's funny because I followed you 2020, and then when I realised once all the COVID stops, I can get my hair cut. I unfollowed you because like
Nice, yeah.
I don't want that. Push
Yeah,
that away.
Distance.
Push that away. That was never a thing. Like
Mm.
you were a little like affair to me. Like I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
And then when
It's real. though.
Make him feel
And
good,
then-
man.
Yeah, it's real. There's a lot of the audience is like that.
So, like,
Secret
yeah.
audience.
So like for me, the reason I did this podcast is because I went through a bit of shit. I didn't feel great, and I did feel like alone a lot of the time, and I tried a lot of different things to make myself feel better. But actually, I found if you just sit like me and him in the gym, like I just found sitting and talking to somebody about my issues was like the best thing for me. I've tried so many things, like running, gym, like all these kinds of things, but it actually just talking actually helps. So like, did you find like what was the actual reason you want to do the Bowl Cafe? Like, how did you do it, and like, what was the reason?
So, I mean, there's a couple of things really. I mean, but primarily, it was looking at the person I was before I started losing my hair, and I thought I was confident. I thought, I talked about having a big ego and that. I thought life's great. I had all these goals, aspirations, and then started losing my hair, and I was shocked at how badly it impacted me. I was shocked at how this, like, essentially one thing impacted me
Yeah.
that much, and especially like.
Why couldn't we do that
mentally,
first
you know,
time
like,
round?
Yes.
Let's go back to
something
talking
like
about. Let's go
these
back.
controlling behaviours, like, I mean, you with the spot thing, like, I'm gonna sit
Yeah.
here. That's controlling you. You like having a meltdown on the floor because you can't find a
Yeah.
can of hairspray. That's not good, dude. Like,
No.
you're a 20 whatever year old lad who's got things you want to be doing in your
Yeah.
life. You don't need to be stressing about that, especially with it's something so normal and so common, and it just
Yeah.
isn't seen like that, you know. So I was like on the other side of it, and I, you know, such a relief from it all, and I thought, right, like, I know how many other guys are going to be in this. Well, I didn't know. I just thought, right, there's got to be other guys that are going through this. If me talking about my experience can help them,
Yeah.
then I'm going to do it. So
Yeah,
that's why I
like, I
started.
do feel like you've kind of opened up something, because like I don't think before you, I'm not sure, there could be, but before you there wasn't many people that was doing it, and like you're kind of like the first. And like I said, you were the first, but I remember typing into YouTube bowling, and you were the first one that come up, and that's what I watched. And like I said, I remember your first few videos of like your podcast and stuff, and people would like, because you, like your format was you talked to them before and then they shaded it.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I've watched all of those, and like I said, that's the reason of this, because I kind of looked at yours and I thought it's such a clever way of getting people together, to get people talking, and like, because like I said, I think you're probably one of the first people to get a group of people together who are bowling and think let's all together do it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's become the biggest like resource, I'd say, like of its kind online. There were a few other guys talking about it on YouTube, and they inspired me to talk about my experience. And then it was really like, guys, I didn't plan like, oh, I'm gonna have other guys do it as well.
Yeah.
None of it was planned. Like, I just had guys reach out and say, your stuff has really helped me. I'm gonna bin this hair off. Like,
How did that feel in that message?
oh mate, like, it's never gets old. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was as amazing then as it is now. I mean,
Well, that's
we're
why you
talking
start
60
in it, to
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
someone.
Oh,
So it's
1,000%.
never
mate,
going to
yeah.
get like
1,000%.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
never
only
not
reason
gonna
guys
be
do it as
fulfilling.
well.
Yeah. I've had 2 messages so far, like since this podcast, and one was actually today, and just a feeling of, it's a weird feeling of like, you're glad someone's reached out, and like someone's watched your stuff and thought, you know what, that can help me, and like it's such a nice feeling. It's quite a hard thing to do. But like, when you're doing this, you kind of forget about that. You kind of forget that people are actually going to watch you.
Yeah, you want to have like a, and I've had to like remind myself of it though. Like, that was why I started. You know, when I first started doing videos, I was like, welcome to Bowl Cafe, the channel dedicated to helping guys like go past hair loss like bravely, confidently. That was my mission, you know. And yeah, throughout the years, you know, there's been sponsorships, and I've gone traveling and done articles and all this stuff, which is all exciting, but I've got to always bring it back to the reason why I started, which was to help that one guy that is the other side of the screen, like, oh, my life is literally falling apart because he's having a meltdown on the floor because he can't find a can of hair.
Yeah, see, that's why Isaac's perfect for this position, because I get really overhead, like I get proper excited, I get all these messages, all these things. Like, in my head, I'm like 1,000 miles an hour, where he's just like, chill out. Remember, this is a hobby. We're doing this because we want to help people, like even one person. Whereas for me, my mind races. I get all these messages.
Well,
do this,
because I say to you, like, I love it, and I'm like, I'm there for it all the whole time.
I'm
like, Reese, let's just focus on the next one.
Yeah.
And we'll get the next one, and then every single
I'm
one.
planning like 2, 3, 4, 5 like pods ahead. Because like, you were the first person. Like, I didn't think you'd respond, to be fair. Like, when I reached out, you were the first one.
It was the first one.
Yeah, because we planned this at the end of last year, but then like things got in the way, and it's just like trying to plan it, and then we tried to do I mean, the podcast is trial and error, and we've had to do a lot of trial and error to get to this point. But no, like, you were the first person I wanted to speak to, because I've like I said, I've followed you since 2020, and it's yeah, like, you are the reason I wanted to do this. So yeah, you were the first one to go on, and I remember exactly where I was when you responded. I felt like a little fanboy. I was like, oh my god, he's actually responded.
I think I don't know if you said you were in Plymouth or what.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and you said you were travelling back and forth.
Yeah, I was in Southampton at the time, and then I was coming down, I think for my birthday or something, and then so I was like, I do what I can, you know. I can't do everything, you know, but I do as much as I can. So and especially this conversation, like anytime someone wants to have this conversation, then I'm there for it, because again, that's why I started, you know.
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
you mentioned it there. I mean, the reason why it's called Bowl Cafe is because, you know, what do you do? Well, I mean, me personally, go have a coffee, talk it out, you know, and that was kind of it's the online version of having that chat, you know, down, have over a coffee, like, talk to me, mate, you know, like, just getting it off your
Like
chest.
friends
or
would do,
whatever.
like, what's going on?
Exactly like
Yeah.
that, mate. Yeah. So, yeah, when you reached out, I was like, yeah, dude, let's do it. Do what I can. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure.
mate, I mean, I was a little fanboy, seriously, when like I said, I followed you from 2020, then, you know, I had to hide you away from my little secrets.
Well, yeah, just to touch on that really quickly, I mean, it's actually quite incredible that the audience, as in like subscribed, is the size it is, because it's a taboo subscription. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, right, okay, I need to,
Pressing
like, this is
subscribe
helping me,
button
but
is
yeah.
like acceptance
It's like,
as
yeah,
well in
it's like,
itself. Yeah, that's
yeah,
really
dude,
weird.
it's like,
Didn't think about that.
like, do I really want to let this into my life? You know, like, do I really want to
Yeah.
acknowledge that?
It's like Reese accepted it, and then as soon as he had that out of COVID, he was like,
Yeah,
right, I'll
honestly, like,
unsubscribe,
yeah,
forget
yeah,
it for a bit.
I used to go on my YouTube and it'd be recommended for you.
It's like clearing the search.
Don't you recommend it? Don't you recommend it?
Yeah,
to me,
I'll scroll
please?
past it.
Yeah.
That's not for me.
Yeah.
I've got a
Who's
couple
been on my phone looking at
I've
hair
got-
transplants?
I've got more than 2 haircuts ready.
Well, a lot, you know, guys that have been on the channel have said to me, like, I used to go, like, you know, I'd wait till my wife was asleep or whatever, and then I'd go into the bathroom and, like, watch a couple of videos to try and,
Yeah.
like, G myself up if
That's
I was
so weird. It's
getting,
like in the same ballpark as like pornography. That's
yeah,
so
dude.
weird.
Yeah, it's because it's
It's
just
so
like,
I
weird.
bet you've never had that
Like
said
I
to you
snuck
before.
off into the bathroom
wow,
to watch videos on.
it's a taboo
Gordon,
thing,
that's
isn't
like-
it? Yeah,
You don't.
because it's a secretive
But I
thing.
wouldn't think of it like.
Don't forget everything that every strategy that you feel like you want to deploy to handle losing your hair is all about that secrecy. It's all about, you know, you denying it, you hiding it, covering it, don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to acknowledge it. Yeah, and that's the whole world. Whereas the thing that truly sets you free, like directing this to anyone that might watch this that's having that problem, is you have to do the opposite of that. So same like if you want to wear the wig, the hair system thing, if you actually want to do that and like rock it and feel good about it, you have to be comfortable with everyone knowing that that's exactly what it is. If you're trying to pull it off as like your normal hair and that's going to create a barrier, that's going to create friction, that's going to create a secret that is going to like not be easy for you to
It
handle.
affects your personality as well, because I know like if you've got a secret you're trying to hide or something, it's that like
Oh, you can't be
guilty
yourself.
feeling,
Yeah.
and it puts you like in defensive mode, doesn't it, a little bit?
Well,
If you have something you're hiding
the
from.
one thing
people,
I'll take away today is your channel's just like a porn thing.
Porn
hair
for
loss,
bullshit.
yeah.
Bald porn is
Bald porn,
it's a
yeah.
new category in itself.
All porn stars are actually bald, aren't they? I think there's something in that. As in, like, there's that like rugged
but
element.
that's the thing.
I feel
isn't
like
That's
it is
the thing.
attractive, like a bald.
It's a masculine look.
specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I hate it because people say, yeah, but you're a bit like The Rock. I'm 5'6".
Who are these
I'm
people?
about 70 odd kilos. I don't think I look like The Rock.
That's a like let you down easy strategy. Yeah.
I think you look better with less. Like the shorter that you've gone, I thought it looks better.
The key for you is
It's
if
the
you want the
scary part.
optimal look, then yeah, the clean shave is it. But the perfect way to live your life if you're going thin or whatever is be comfortable with like now same comfort now as you are thinking. But that takes time. So for
Yeah, of
me, when I
course.
shaved it off early, then I didn't shave my head for like 2 weeks, and you could start to see that
You gotta do
horseshoe
it in
coming
steps.
in.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, no, all right, get rid of this. Like I can't, because I was same deal. I was afraid for people to see me be obviously losing my hair, you know.
Yeah.
But I dealt with that, and then I went a bit longer, and then a bit longer. And it'll be the same with the hat. Like you have to go somewhere where it's not really that busy. I mean, we haven't talked on that. Could be a whole pod in itself, right? But take the hat off, Seco Lounge or whatever, right?
See, but
People are milling around. Just take off and just you do you. Like be distracted enough to like be doing something, but also take in like okay, no one's looking at me, no one's freaking out.
See, it's weird you say that because like, if I go to a place where I know nobody's there, I'll happily not wear a hat. if I go to a place and then there's gonna be people there.
When you say nobody there, what do you mean? People you know,
Just
or
quiet.
just people in general?
people that I don't, that I know that I won't know. So like I've been on a date before where I didn't wear a hat.
Yeah.
Whereas if I go now to a place like and I've been, so I don't know. It's weird. Like we've been to the gym. I don't wear a hat in the gym because I don't know anybody in the gym. Nobody knows me. I don't know them. But the minute I go into like
It's
my
like-
shop and I know that I'm going to see people, that's when
Is
the
that
hat comes
because
on.
you? Is that because the people that you're seeing are people that you grew up with and stuff, and you feel like
You want to be the
you've
perfect
aged
image,
faster
don't
than
you?
them and
Like,
stuff like that, and you don't want to, like people you went to school with, and if they see you and they're like, "Whoa, what happened to you?"
I'm not sure because like I play football with a lot of them. I always rock up to football with a hat on anyway, take it off and play football, and there's no bother. Like I'm playing against another team, no bother. I'm not asked. But like I don't know, the minute the game's on, hats on. It's
Games
weird.
finished, you mean?
Yeah, as soon as the game's
I
finished,
think
hats
it's
on.
just like a anxiety relief thing because everybody's nervous in like social settings, whereas and then if you're thinking of one thing that's spent years in your head,
Yeah, to be fair,
it's very hard to like if you get shy or nervous or there's people around or whatever, you
It's hard
You
to
very
undo
much,
those
like,
patterns.
revert to your brain reverts into that.
yeah, it's weird because the biggest thing I've ever had to do is I had to go to christening, so I couldn't wear a hat,
Mm.
and I was in a room full of people, and nobody said a word. But like,
But
I
were
was
you
just,
worried about it at the time?
that's the only thing I was worried about.
Mm.
So the minute I got the invitation, I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to wear like a suit. I can't wear a hat with a
How
suit.
long ago was that?
Last year,
Okay.
back end of last year.
Mm.
But like, it's a weird one. If I like I said, if I go to a place where I know people are gonna like, I know that people will be there. That's when the hat comes on.
Mm.
It's a weird one.
You're still going for it, aren't you? You're
Yeah,
in
takes
a
time, dude,
part
yeah.
of the journey.
Yeah.
It's probably
journey's
you're in the
best way.
part where, like, after you shaved it off, like you said, Harry, that you grew it back. You're probably in that kind of
Oh mate, I couldn't grow
phase
back.
where
I
you're
tried.
still
Jesus.
still
Well,
like
you are rocking hair though.
I'm rocking the like 45-year-old dad.
Mm.
I've got a little quiff there where you like that.
Well, you see, that's an
Experimenting
interesting
with
choice of words for yourself. You know, to like keep it real. You know,
Yeah.
Self-talk. That's not good self-talk
No,
Mm.
it's I don't
because
know.
you're not a 45-year-old dad.
No, I'm not. But
You're
like,
24.
yeah. But like I said,
But that's a reflection of how you're feeling.
yeah. Because that's where like the humour side comes out of it. Because I look at myself daily. If you offered me like said right, I will pay for you to have a hair transplant. I don't know if I'd take it or not. Because I look at myself, I look at old pictures of myself with hair, and I think I'd love to have hair like that.
Mm.
But then there's days when I think, oh, the arse, the faff.
Well,
like I watched him earlier
it's-
do his hair, and I thought,
well, it's
Can't be
like you
arsed
say,
with that.
if I have like I know it's funny, but like if I have a bad hair day, it does very much affect you. Like if I go into work and I think my hair looks crap, or you wake up and you got bed hair and you got 5 hairs sticking up,
Mm.
that's
I know about it
embarrassing.
well, mate.
Is because I wanted to talk about it as well when obviously I said I buzzed my hair, had a crew cut for a long while. Like as COVID was finishing, I thought I'd squeeze in getting that haircut while it was still like a trend.
Mm.
So I got it done, and I was really just. I thought it looked alright when I had it done because like
Mate, you
my
look
brothers.
like H, to be fair.
My brothers sat me. It was literally H. I showed him a picture, and we literally sat there for a while doing it. And once he had done that first buzz, there's no turning back then. But I thought it looked alright. It looked really weird, but I didn't think it looked that bad, and that's kind of as far as it went. I was like, and then I remember going to sleep for work the next day, thinking I have to turn up like this. But I was thinking, loads of people have done it. It's not that.
Yeah, that's just a
I
different
used that as a veil to
change
do it.
thing, isn't it? Yeah, not
But
being bold thing.
I feel like having that buzz cut actually really boosted my confidence at the time because I didn't have to worry. Like I got up, you don't have to worry about your hair, didn't have to worry about anything. But then obviously I've done it by choice as style as opposed to being forced to do
somewhat
it.
unnecessary.
But I felt like nobody's looking at my hair anymore. Nobody's looking at my hairstyle, or if it doesn't look right to me and I know it, or that bed head that I was saying about, or so it very much for me was like one less thing to worry about. That's why I had it for like a good year afterwards,
Yeah, nice.
and that was by choice.
Yeah.
So
I did a similar thing when I was in uni. When I was working in Revs, like on Derry's Crops.
Yeah.
Used to work in there, and I shaved it for Halloween, I think. And then I noticed like, oh, everyone like, a lot of the guys mainly, like
Yeah.
they
They go
treat
that
you
down
differently,
that
a bit
bad,
more like respect, you know. And
Like
I
you
kind
said,
of
it is a
rode
bit
off
more
it for a
macho,
bit.
I think,
Yeah, it is.
genuinely.
It is. Yeah, it's a bit more of a no nonsense, like less pretty boy, more.
Yeah, exactly
man.
that. It makes you feel no nonsense.
Yeah,
That's exactly
yeah.
what I had.
And that's how it feels, to be fair, when you actually do bin it off for the first time, because you go from a space of being like so afraid and so. That's so funny, by the way. That
Yeah.
keeps going on.
It's
like
directed
it's
right
like I
at you
really
as well.
stink. Yeah, it's like oh god.
Keep spraying.
Yeah. We can only get through this pod if we keep spraying him. What was I saying? It's like Christ,
When
where
we
was I
first
going with
shave
that?
it off.
Yeah, you've spent the whole however many years. For me, it was like a little bit over a year. For some guys, you're talking like 5-10 years of like being afraid to lose your hair, and then for the first time, you're actually doing the complete opposite. So you've been so hell bent on like hiding away, like trying to maintain the look of a full head of hair, and then the first time you're actually doing the complete opposite is an amazing feeling. You know,
It's
you're
like a
oh,
weight
actually,
off your shoulders. Like,
yeah,
even
like,
for me, it was.
maybe I don't need to be afraid of this, you know. And then, you know, like in your experience, it can take work after that to undo all of that wiring, especially if you've been wearing the hat all the time during the whole balding phase and that for years and years, or however you've been hiding it. You also have to stop doing that, you know, to be fully free, as I always say.
For me to do it now again would be daunting, even though I've done it before.
Well, 'cause you're rocking luscious, perfect
Luscious
hair.
look. Yeah, but it's always
Well, you literally had it
a
cut like
step,
just before
like-
this as well.
yeah,
It's so
just
hilarious.
before this. Yeah.
That's so funny.
I needed one anyway. It wasn't just to mess with you.
Yeah.
But
You sent me a message like, "Oh, we'll come around a bit later because he's doing his hair."
Exactly.
I thought you meant like in the mirror, not actually getting it
But
cut.
yeah, it's like to do it now. If my mates went, oh, get a buzz cut again, get the H cut, we call it.
Yeah.
It would be daunting again to do it because it's been a while. But like I know what it looked like, so it wouldn't be so scary. Same way, like you knew what you looked like, you go back, and then you've got. I feel like you've got to shave it, grow it back almost, because then you compare and you feel bad again to know what.
Yeah,
Your
kind of.
felt like
Yeah, yeah.
maybe?
Part of the journey. Like guys do that. They'll shave it off and be like, "Oh, I don't know though. Like I've still got some hair." Like, and they'll grow it back, and then they'll see like, "Oh, actually, I'm worrying about this all the time again," or it's always on my mind,
You see
or
the
I'm
comparison.
faffing. I'm worrying about the wind. I'm worrying about playing football. That's a big one. Like lads playing football and stuff, and they're getting ripped.
When it's
or
stopping you doing
the
stuff.
things that you actually want to do.
The,
in
the
your life.
things that are supposed to be fun in
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah,
and
that's-
it's
that's
ruining
what-
that,
that's what
a
made
big
me-
deal.
Dating's
yeah.
the big one. Like just to touch on that really quickly, guys would be thinking, right, I'm going on this date. If I don't look like I've got a decent barnet, then she's not going to find me attractive. But the trouble is, if you trying to maintain the appearance of a full barnet is like stressing you out, you're thinking about that, you're worrying about that, you're all in your head. Can you really like offer your actual self to this bird
In a
when
stressful
you're like in
situation
your
anyway.
head thinking, oh no, like right, I need to go to the toilet quickly and just check it's looking alright. It was a bit windy when we walked in, or like you know, like in the winter when they have you walk through and they got those like heaters and stuff. So many. These are all stories guys have told me, and the doors open, it's like whoosh, like with the fan.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, like
Oh,
straight to the
fuck.
toilet. You know, just stuff like that. It's like that is the thing that will make you unattractive because anyone can tell when someone's
Being insecure
insecure.
about it, yeah.
And that's the thing is work on being secure in yourself, even if that isn't having a dodgy barnet.
Even if like
Right,
spots
even
or,
if it
like,
is-
my hair.
Yeah, whatever.
I get it.
But if you feel good about yourself, if you're confident, like literally, like that's the important part. Honestly,
Yeah, exactly.
honestly, we all know the dude. We've all got that friend who's like, if you really want to be objective about it, you'd be like, oh, dude's like a 5 out of 10 on the attractiveness scale, whatever, you know, whatever people describe as. But he's got the gift of the gab, like he literally full of
just
confidence,
secure about himself,
out there
yeah.
like running rampant, like
Mm.
out on the town. And you think, how does he do it? But it's because
Confident
he's
in himself, yeah.
you know. And you got that other. I mean, I was a bit like that to be honest. I was like, oh yeah, I look all like good and all pretty. Like zero, dude, I would not talk to anyone. I had like zero confidence actually, like trying to pull or whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
because you just
it speaks volumes. So you're kind of getting off topic a little bit there, but I mean, self-esteem and all that is what it really comes down to.
Yeah, very much so, isn't it? It's like, because you could swap being bald for something else.
Yeah, being
and something
overweight
else
or
and-
being short, being crazy tall, like
Mm.
yeah, it's skinny, like you know. I used to
Yeah.
worry about that. Oh, I'm so skinny.
Yeah, it's just dealing with it, isn't it? Like, acceptance is such a massive step to take. But
I
it's
thought
the
you-
hardest one, the longest one.
Just deal with it.
But it's
funny
the
you
one
s-
that's
yeah.
going to make such a difference when you
Yeah.
eventually do it.
When you said that, it made me think. You know that pie face like meme when he's like, someone asks him like, "Oh, how do you deal with
Yeah.
anxiety?" And he's like, "Just don't worry about it, mate."
Yes. It's because one thing I watched, it was Carl Pilkington,
Okay, yeah.
and he was on I think it's Idiot
I
Abroad,
think I
right?
know what you're going to talk about.
And he goes into some hairdressing salon
Oh, he
shop.
gets the hair system.
Yeah,
the
and
wig
they
done,
put the hair system on him, and you can see him just like light up
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
confident. Like he absolutely loves it,
Yeah.
and it's like he's overjoyed. Like you can see how like it makes him look younger. He's happier. Part of it's probably because he's just smiling, looking because he's quite like moody looking anyway. But he's like ear to ear smiling because it obviously just did wonders to kind of see himself with hair again. But obviously, if that's what does it for your confidence, then that's a thing too. Like,
Yeah, I
but
think,
as long as you accept it, like you said earlier,
yeah, what it is.
and like if anyone brings it up, you go, yeah, I've
Yeah.
got a wig or a toupee or whatever it is. Like, yeah, I've had a hair transplant. It's not a big deal. But then obviously he calls up his missus, doesn't he? And he says, "I'll put some hair on," and she says, "I don't like it. No,
Yeah.
to have it off."
Yeah.
And you can see him kind of go. It was like, but obviously he's one of them people where you like. It's like you said, he's so confident in himself that like you wouldn't even kind
It's
of
not
think
even a
about
thing.
it.
Yeah, it's not a thing. It's not. It's nothing to do with his personality, really, is it? Yeah, that's a funny clip. That it's got to be a sense of the novelty factor as well. In that you're just getting it done. Interesting thing about the hair systems and that is obviously all the stuff that you see online is like they just show the first like 5 minutes when you get it done, when they've perfectly done it and stuff. But annoyingly, and again, like I'm not talking shit about that sort of thing, but it's like the reality of living with it is very different to just I've just sat in the chair and I've now seen myself with perfect hair for the first time in however many years. And that is just a reality. For some guys, it's totally
the
worth
effort
it.
it takes though,
And
just
for some guys, yeah, the
because
effort
you see
just
the whole
isn't that.
process, like you say, once you see the whole process, it's bad enough to get up, wet your hair, and kind of brush it. Let alone you got to get up and do all that.
There is upkeep with that, yeah.
It's a ton of upkeep, and it's like you got to make that choice then if you want to live with it.
Yeah.
If you think like say he absolutely loved it like he did, and then he goes through the process, lives with it for a bit, and still likes it and gets a boost in confidence. There's nothing wrong with that either.
No, not at all, no.
But obviously you just got to be
But just go down the
aware
pub
of
and be that guy. And when the guy's like, hang on a minute, like, what's that then? And be like, yeah, mate, like, this is a hair system. I bloody love it.
if it
Look
makes
at
you
me.
feel good,
Yeah.
like
But don't be
actually
like,
good,
right,
yeah.
okay, right, I used to be bald, or like, I had really thinning hair, so, right, how can I go about this? Right, let me get it done, and I'll just tell people I've, like, gone to Australia for 2 months or something, like, and I'll just come back and I'll miraculously have hair, and then hopefully no one will notice. No, dude, like, why go through all of it to have it, and then feel like
You can't,
ashamed to not, like,
Ashamed to
enjoy
show
it,
it,
or
like,
whatever?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think,
be
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, I think that's why I probably wouldn't get hair. Like, I don't think I could generally say, yeah,
No, I
yes.
couldn't do the upkeep with that. No, fair play to those that can, but
Because I didn't even know that you got to like take pills afterwards and
the transplant,
yeah.
the latest pod I done just a couple of days ago that I'm editing up is a guy that did it essentially, but he wasn't keen on the meds and that, and he's bald, but he'd had a hair transplant, and so yeah, people need to know that like it's not just a one and done.
Yeah.
It looks, it's that quick fix, isn't it?
Yeah, look
It's
at
going to
Rudy.
come up on your Facebook.
Yeah, he's had a few.
Yeah, again, so you have to get like multiple, do you, as you go on? Like you said, it
It
lasts like
just
5
depends
years.
on how your hair is, doesn't it?
Asking for a friend. Yeah, it's very much like a choice that you got to make, like any, isn't it? But if that's what makes you happy, then just decide if it's worth it.
Yeah, I just say to guys, do what you need to do. It's part of the journey. Do what you need to do, and at any point you decide, oh, I've had enough of this. I'm your man.
Yeah, because you'll always deep down know what you really is. I feel like
yeah,
as much as you're gonna hide it and transplant and
that's the thing. The
and it will
hide
make you feel good at the time, but you know at some point that's literally in your genes. It's who you are.
Yeah.
So you're basically trying to run away from who you are.
Yeah.
So it is very much. I feel like I'd be very much like you if I were in that situation, and I'd be
Maybe
like,
we'll see
I'll
one day.
never live. Maybe just give me that mirror and check the back. But it's very much. I feel like I wouldn't be able to live properly and healthily if I didn't just accept that that is me. And
So what we want
that's
everyone to
how
take
I'm
away
gonna
is you got insecurities of spots.
Yeah.
I need to stop wearing my hat, and your page is a porn page.
Yeah.
be. It's bullshit.
That's a good place to wrap up, I think, isn't it? Good place to wrap
Well, I
up.
think a good stat for you to mention, but before we finish, is the stat of how many people are
Well,
actually
yeah, just-
struggling with hair loss.
Because before you came on, I thought I'd do a little bit of research. I mean, you probably know all the numbers off the top of you anyway. But I was actually surprised to see it was like 1 in 4 under 21s, start to lose their hair. And I found that crazy because when I was going through it, I thought I was like 1 in like a million. Like I'd look around and I was
Yeah,
like,
like 25%, and then it goes
Yeah.
up. Then it said like age 30, 30%, 40%.
yeah. But I read that stat earlier and I thought that's so crazy because I wish I knew that because 1 in 4, like.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was going through it, I thought I was like 1 in like a million. Like I thought I'm the only one who's ever gone through this. But then, like I said, like you get into YouTube and you find your page and you find so many people in the exact same space as what I was in, you're in, like, and you actually realise it's not actually.
It's so normal, dude.
It's not actually that deep.
No, it's so normal.
Yeah, that is because you said it to me, and I was like, "Geez, that's actually like a really
Yeah.
kind of high stat, isn't it?"
Yeah.
If you think of like all the lads that were in your class or whatever, like
Yeah.
in school, you know, and then you like think of the percentages and think back to those guys, you're like, oh, okay, so there's a fair amount of us, you know. It really is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's just a good stat to end on, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, when you first break that idea that you're not 1 in 100, like it's
And it's just a norm. It's just life.
you are just like another bloke dealing with something that another bloke's dealing with, and it makes it a bit easier, doesn't it? To
Yeah.
get over that fact that like
Maybe next pod
the
I'll
world's
not wear a hat
against
as
you
well.
or-
We'll see. We'll see.
Baby steps, mate.
Baby steps.
Mate, I think next pod you should get fresh, properly short, bald. Go bald.
Progress is made
I think you
outside of
should
your comfort
live
zone,
by
mate.
example on it and go bald. Or just
And then
like
I'll
just
subscribe
a
to
bit of
Bald
stubble,
Cafe.
yeah. Just a bit of
Join us.
just a bit of stubble, mate. I think you should come on the next one with a fresh haircut, like I come on this one with a fresh haircut, and then you'll be taking that
Get
step.
your chinos
won't
on
you?
as well,
Yeah,
with
exactly.
your
Yeah, you
shoes.
can get your dress up.
Put your watch on.
Yeah, put it all on, mate. Put it all on. Or well, take it all off. I should say more so. When you said to him, I just off the top of your head, I was like, that's a bit of a little bit. Come on now, come on.
That did cross my mind as well.
Yeah. See, it's always going to pop in your head, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
always a part of you, but because it's something, it's like a memory like any other, so it's always going to be a part of you. But like, you actually kind of live it and just become
Yeah.
who you're biologically meant to be at the end of the day. So it's accepting that, isn't it? But I think 100% you should have same cut.
Yeah, we'll try, shall we?
Maybe bring out the
0.5
tash.
on top and then 0.5 everywhere. I think you should. I think it'd be really good because obviously talking is one thing, but then we're all about the talking. But I feel like you should show someone the action that comes after listening to the conversation.
Maybe I'll jump on his poll and then we'll do it. We'll talk about it, then we'll do it, then we'll do it.
Be a
Yeah.
pleasure to
Just
have you, mate.
stroll into the Bald Cafe, get a cut, and then maybe you can do like a video where he cuts it for you.
We should, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll reverse
And
the
then we'll
roles, shall we?
link it in that. Yeah, role reversal. We'll go on there
No
and
problem.
you can
We'll do that.
deal.
Once you come
Well,
back.
deal, you should
once
make a deal
once-
now.
I've got a sweat. When you get back from travelling, we'll do it.
Yeah, nice one. Sounds
Right,
good.
we're gonna end this on.
Yeah, so we'll end it there, guys. But if you're still here, you've still been listening, and you haven't gone off to like shave your head or try and cover it up. But if you enjoyed this episode, especially with a guest, if you like us having guests on, that's going to be a really big thing in the future. We're going to try and get as many people in this real conversation that's happening as possible, and have the people that are going through it really talking about it with us. But as always, you know, if you want to share it, like, comment, let us know if it helped you. Like we said, it's so fulfilling to see if it's helped even one person, let alone anybody else.
100%.
So yeah, share, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll have Harry's stuff in the description below. We'll link all of his stuff, so go check that out as well. That will help you a lot, as it did with Reese.
And then maybe we might see me on his channel, Chief Mears.
Yeah, we will. I think we will. But yeah, and as always, if you enjoyed it and want to join in the conversation, tune in for the next episode.